Hey everyone, it's JazzyTrashboat here with the Underbase Rewatch podcast, joined by my co-host.
Twinshot.
Today we'll be going over the episodes Transport to Oblivion and Roll Out.
Episodes 4 and 5 of the G1 series.
So on IMDb, the ranking of it is a 7.0 for Transport to Oblivion out of 10. Director is John Walker. Writers are Bryce Malik, Harry Orstein, and Dick Robbins. The voice actors for this episode are Michael Bell with Prowl and Sideswipe, Corey Burton with Shockwave, Spike, Brawn, and Sunstreaker, Victor Carolyn as the narrator, Christopher Collins as Starscream, Sparkplug, Laserbeak, and Reflector, Scatman Crothers as Jazz, Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime and Ironhide, Dan Gavilson as Bumblebee, Casey Kasem as Cliffjumper, Teletran 1, and Blue Streak, Don Miskic as Ratchet and Gears, Don Messick, and Ron Stevenson as Thundercracker, and Frank Welker as Megatron, Soundwave, Ravage, Skywarp, and Trailbreaker.
Right, so basically, in episode 4, the Decepticons attempt to make a space bridge, and this obviously fails because it's the Decepticons and they never get anything right because for some reason they're stupid.
And
They
at
capture
1 minute 30, 1 minute 35, Megatron's insignia doesn't have any eyes.
I have a lot more that's before 135.
Oh, then go right ahead.
So, 040, they call the Autobots creatures. I don't know why. Just, they do. At 055, Cliffjumper comes outside the Ark, and he's like, oh, a Decepticon, and starts like blasting up a rock.
I will say, that Decepticon looked like Cyclonus.
I thought it looked just like Starscream, to be honest. But, you know. They said months ago, like it'd been months since they defeated the Decepticons, but they never went back to Cybertron. But in the last episode, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you all the energy you need to fly back home." Just stay
again.
home, I
Keep
guess.
in mind, this was a pilot. This was made for like.
That's why I'm not being too harsh with these bit. Shockwave is losing power. That's not like a nitpick, but I'm like, you never normally see that, do you? Like them actually.
Yeah.
And
at 1 minute 48, Shockwave has a purple eye.
See, at 1 minute 48, I put the losing power thing, so I probably wasn't paying attention to his eye. I got 240. We got Soundwave was undercover playing music. He was inside an energy place, wasn't he? And Soundwave was in his cassette form, and he was seen, and he just instantly transformed and gave away his position. Like he could have stayed in cassette form for a bit, but he just decided to pop out and say "Howdy doody" to the humans.
I don't have anything else until 3:35.
I've got 3:15. Spike speaks, like he's inside Jazz, they're driving, he's speaking, but his mouth doesn't line up with what he's actually saying. And then the next thing's at 4:03, so it's all you.
So then, if I remember correctly, it goes to like but I forgot the events of the episode in the beginning. Like I have down here.
Why doesn't?
It's like I have here Bumblebee and IOU.
Right. They're inside the energy place, and the Decepticons give it away that they're there. So they're like going around and trying to get energy. Because I've put at 4:03, Optimus Prime magically has a camera inside this energy place for like no apparent reason.
Just trying. Hold up. Let me go to this timestamp real quick.
The
'Cause I
host,
think-
guys, the actual host of the show, guys. Give him a round of applause. Second
Somehow this
episode's
getting
in.
cut.
Ah, what? You can't. I'll remember. I'll keep this to you. He's cutting it out, boys. You'll never see this clip. How many racist jokes is Jazzy gonna make while he's?
Oh, okay. So at 3 minutes 35, it pops up with the animation of Bumblebee underneath an IOU sign.
IOU.
That was before Optimus Prime goes in, and then at 3 minutes 52 on Teletran 1, it says Eve Island.
Eve. I've got at 4:03. Optimus's camera inside the energy place, which don't make any sense. And then I've got 4:14. For some reason, Prowl, Ratchet, Cliff, and Ironhide are all shown, and they all look really mushed up and awkward looking. I don't know what was wrong with them, but I reckon someone tried to do that TikTok compressor thing and it didn't work out. 4:29, when the Autobots transform to go to the energy area, there's a weird magical noise, like they've just Sailor Moon their asses into robot vehicle modes. And my next thing's in about 40 seconds. Okay, you got anything before?
So then we go back to the energy plant. Soundwave is making the energon cubes. At 4 minutes 39 seconds, the cubes that Skywarp is holding, they go black.
Do they?
Yeah, like they turn black. My
normal shit, you know. When my bright purple energon goes black, I kind of don't pay attention to it. That's quite funny. That actually could play on to the next episode, but no spoilers because you gotta watch it all.
And my next one is until 5 minutes.
I got one at 5:11, so
Okay.
You're all chilled. Keep going, mate.
And I believe after that, like after the
Autobots,
after the Energon fiasco, the Autobots do come in.
I don't understand that. Every time we see the Autobots go somewhere, they're in vehicle mode, and then by the time they come in, they're flown in through the roof.
I know that it's kind of weird.
Choose a source of transportation and keep it. Like sometimes they're flying, sometimes they don't know how to, sometimes they're driving, sometimes they're ascending through the roof. And I've got 5:11 Megatron. This is going to be a recurring thing for all my issues throughout these next two episodes. Everyone's body proportions is messed up. Megatron and Optimus are having an anime fight, and Optimus Prime has got these massive antenna, and he's slim, and it's like, okay. And then at 5:32, Starscream, he has a different voice again. That's a recurring thing. Starscream has different voices all the time.
And for me, at 5 minutes 44, whenever Starscream shoots his null ray, it looks like he has an exhaust vent on it, like spare energy coming out of it.
I saw that. I didn't point it out though. I've got one at 5:33. Ratchet's voice doesn't add up, and Prowl's Autobot symbol is white. Ratchet gets shot once and he retreats, and then at 5:46, one Skywarp flies off. And then
I seriously, I have that down at 5:49. A second Skywarp appears after the first one flew away.
Another one just shows up, and then Laserbeak sound weird, like he just didn't sound right. Ooh, I've got a 2-minute gap here, so you're gonna have to.
I have a 4-minute gap.
Oh, right. So 7:13, Prowl has really big antenna. Again, body proportions. Optimus has big old boobies at 7:24. 7:39, we get the
Here
intro.
to explain where the plot is going now. Like we're done at the energy station.
Shockwave has messaged Megatron. He's been given coordinates to go build a space bridge. So they go and build the space bridge. So at 7:39, we're introduced to the first ever ground bridge. I keep calling it a space bridge, but they're the same thing. No, they build the space bridge.
Yeah, it's a space bridge.
A ground bridge.
Ground bridge is at Prime.
So they have all this stuff ready. And then they send off the first ship at 8:46, but the ship goes up for the portal and never goes into it. So they say
Yeah.
it disappeared, but it was still in there the entire time. And then Bumblebee comes along with his good old Spike Witwicky, and they have a look around. The Decepticons heard him, because obviously who wouldn't hear a guy walking around, transforming, carring up? And then Bumblebee falls down the cliff. Like, he tries to drive forward, but it's just like goes downward. The Decepticons acknowledge him, but like they pretend that's the first time they've seen him, even though they were staring at him like 20 seconds before. After that,
at 9 minutes 43 seconds, Starscream's intakes, they are gray, not red, and that's like whenever they first see Bumblebee.
I've got one at 9:48. Megatron is speaking in Shockwave's voice and responding to himself in Megatron's voice.
I have that at 10:35, but at 10:04, Energon cubes, instead of being bright pink, they're rainbow.
That's like a recurring thing. I think it's because of the differences in energy in the Energon cubes. Because like ones that have solid energy, they're normally purple, but then ones where they've mixed and matched, they seem to have multicolored, kind of showing a bit of continuity, or maybe just again an animation error between people across the warehouse they used to make this thing. I don't know if this. What's your next timestamp?
At 10 minutes 20,
Better than mine.
Spike's animation is like really weird, where like him and Bumblebee are sitting next to each other after they get captured into the shuttle. It's like Spike is sort of sitting on his lap, but right next to him at the same time.
If you've got one below 11:20, say it now, because my 11:21 is a big one.
Then at 10:35, Megatron's voice is shockwaves.
So that happened twice, and I just didn't notice it.
And then after that, they escape. Spike gets tripped.
Wait! I've got something for this. At 11:20 seconds, Spike Witwicky, the little human boy, runs as fast as Bumblebee does at full speed in his vehicle mode. I don't know how he's done it, but that human is a god. He's Sonic. He's everything. He's going for it. He's pulling all the restraints out, and he's sick of being human. He's going.
So anyway, they escape by Bumblebee transforming and breaking the glass of the shuttle. But Bumblebee's the only one to get away.
He just leaves Spike.
Yeah, Spike trips over absolutely nothing and gets captured. Then Bumblebee goes on a race around trying to avoid the Decepticons. He goes into a cave and climbs up through a hole, and then gets reprogrammed.
There was something weird that he did, and his memory gets reprogrammed. He doesn't like personally, but when he went up this. So the Decepticons were in a divot in the desert, and Bumblebee tries to go out this divot, and he just sits at the top of the divot for like 10 seconds and then goes away. But honestly, I think that's just like them forgetting to animate that bit. I've got at 12:35, Starscream's voice has changed, and again, 12:35, like a millisecond after, we see Prowl and Cliffjumper and a load of different people. Prowl is super undetailed, and Cliffjumper is yellow.
I put down that 12:41 Bumper appears.
Bumper. That's canonic name.
I don't have anything until 17 minutes.
Holy crap, I'm going to carry the rest of this podcast.
So yeah, explain the plot while you're going through it, though. So currently, Optimus Prime has...
Optimus and the other Autobots are all inside the base, and Bumblebee comes back. He's obviously saying that he ain't got Spike, he lost him took him for a walk and he's lost him. And he's been reprogrammed by Starscream, so he's forgotten where the actual space bridge is. My hair won't get out of my face. He's forgotten where the actual space bridge is, and he's been programmed to take them back to that cave where Starscream reprogrammed him. So he takes them there, and then what? I'm saying one at 13:44, Laserbeak makes a really loud jet noise, and that's not normal for Laserbeak because he's not a jet, is he? He's a bird. A little bird. So they go to the cave, and at 14:32, Prowl and the others look a bit weird. Like Prowl's vehicle mode looks really weird, and they all look really weird when they transform. They have like a little bit of a fight, a tussle in the cave.
Then 1737, I
not
got
at
Megatron's
17.
mouth.
I don't think yet.
Go right
I've
ahead.
still got a few 15s. While they're having this fight, there's a few animation errors. Jazz has a white hand at 15:38. Then 20 seconds later, Ratchet shoots a net at Laserbeak in this cave. This net is magical because it's closed, then it opens to grab Laserbeak and then closes again. Then Soundwave, the great daddy he is, goes Ravage. Then Megatron's gun is on top of his arm and not on the side of it. So, don't know what's happening there. And then 1720, Starscream says he never retreats, which is the fattest lie he's ever told.
And for me, at 1737, whenever Megatron tells everyone to retreat, his mouth doesn't move.
Does it not? I didn't notice that.
It doesn't move.
Oh wait,
and
I've got 1802. Meg's mouth doesn't move.
And then at 1745, Sideswipe appears in the cave with them. He wasn't even there. He wasn't in the battle. He wasn't there whenever they were going to the cave. He just appears.
He came for background credit. He wants his paycheck for today.
And 1757, Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker appear, even though they weren't in the convoy going. And then you don't see them again.
They show up, they leave. I've got 1802 Meg's mouth doesn't move. 1815 Bumblebee. Like we don't see Bumblebee much in the fight, but at the end he's like super damaged. His chest plate's coming off, and then memory's back. He knows exactly where it is. And he's fixed instantly. I don't understand that, but the episode's almost finished. We've only got like 5 minutes left of this episode, and I've only got a few things left. So you might have to
So then Autobots they repair Bumblebee, and they shoot their way out of the cave. And Bumblebee suddenly remembers where it is.
He's just like,
brings him to it. But first, we panel back to the Decepticons. At 1832, Ravage's head is in the cage with Spike.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a really weird animation, but like his head is in the cage with him.
See, my next one is at 1948. You got anything before that?
Yes, I do.
Damn it.
So then, Soundwave releases Spike, forces him in the thing. The Autobots all show up. They start the battle. And at 1921, there's a space bridge perspective error. Where it's like, it doesn't show the ground inside the space bridge. It just shows the opening and then the other side. So then, they have the battle. Optimus Prime shoots the space pod that Spike is in. He hops out. The pod slams into the space bridge.
I think I've got something before that because I've got stuff that's labeled that sounds like it's before Optimus shows up. I've got 1948. Megatron's eyes are bright blue, like proper blue.
But what time is that?
1948. That's what I've put down at least. I couldn't confirm that to save my life, but that's what I've got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that. That was 1923.
What's wrong with my timings? These are the timings I got off YouTube. The mini bots, they all transform the exact same. Like, did you notice that? They all stand
Oh, I
up
did
on the
not notice
legs, then the back folds back, and then their arms come out like that, and they all transform the exact same in the scene. And then, because I don't know if my timing's right, I've got 21 minutes, there's 2 star screams. And then again at
that.
21 minutes and 6 seconds, there's again 2 star screams, and one of them's got a weird ass voice.
Here's what happened. So after the space pod crashed into the space bridge, I believe it was either Ironhide or Cliffjumper who shot an energon cube that sent Megatron into the space bridge, and then he goes up to Cybertron. And
Successfully, like he actually gets up there properly.
yeah. And then at 20 minutes and 36 seconds, I see 2 star screams.
26 minutes?
No, 20 minutes, 36 seconds.
Right, so mine's 30 seconds in front of you, which is weird. And then I've got the end. Megatron has a really weird voice.
Okay.
So that's divide and conquer for you. I'd say that was a.
Oh, that's not divide and conquer. That's transport to oblivion.
What's divide and conquer? Is that a different episode?
I believe so. So now we gotta rank it. Either I won't be able to be a good leader, which is the worst. Prime warned me there'd be days like this, which is second worst. Third is boobies, just middle of the row. Then we have Dare to be Stupid, and then You Got the Touch.
I'd say this episode was middle of the road, and its fair share of animation errors, but I think the introduction to the Cybertronians actually having. Oh, forgot to mention, Starscream thinks Megatron is dead, so the next episode's pretty bad for Starscream. I would say proper middle of the road.
So boobies.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was good, but I'd say I like where it was going. I'm gonna love it more when the Dinobots are introduced. If you can't tell, I love the Dinobots.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I wouldn't really say this is a good episode. I'm gonna rank it. Prime warned me there'd be days like this. Like, I know it's still early in the series, but
we're 5 episodes of probably about 80.
Yeah, it's not really that good in my opinion.
Right, we're on to roll out episode 5.
Hold up, it might not be for rollout. It is
I
called.
might have to hurry up. I got like 10 minutes. I got like 20 minutes till I pass out from sleep deprivation.
It is called Roll For It. So.
Oh, I thought it was called Roll Out. So I've got mine labeled as Roll Out.
For episode 5, Roll For It, the IMB star ranking is 7 out of 10. Director, John Walker. Writers, George.
He's gonna be a while. I like John Walker. He's been making some good episodes.
Writers are George Arthur Bloom, Douglas Booth, and Harry Orstein. So then now, for the voice actors, we have Michael Bell for Prowl and Sideswipe, Corey Burton for Shockwave, Spike, Sunstreaker, and Brawn, Christopher Collins for Starscream, Wheeljack, and Sparkplug, as well as Reflector, Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime and Ironhide, Dan Gilvison as Bumblebee and the Security Guard, Michael Horton as Chip Chase, Casey Kasem as Blue Street Cliffjumper Teletran, John Missick as Ratchet, Ken Sampson as Hound, Tom Stevenson as Thundercracker and Dr. Archivar, and Frank Welker as Megatron, Soundwave, Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, Skywarp, and Mirage.
Basically, in this episode, obviously Megatron is presumed dead, so Starscream starts crying and then tries to take over the Decepticons, as he would. I mean, it's Starscream. When is he never trying to take over the Decepticons? When is he ever not wishing death upon Megatron? So we get in the episode, and it's like it's less intense than the last one. I'll say that.
Yeah. For me, so to start off, it is Thundercracker, Starscream, and Soundwave all flying to try and steal energy to make more Energon cubes. So at 38 seconds, I have Thundercracker looks like Starscream.
Mm-hmm.
45 seconds, Soundwave has a red emblem.
I've got one at 40 seconds exactly. Starscream like tries to run over Soundwave in the middle of the air. It was quite funny to look at, to be honest.
And then at 46 seconds, Thundercracker looks like Skywarp.
To be honest, if I saw those two were switched, I would not question it because I couldn't tell the difference to save my life.
Then I believe now they go steal energy to make more Energon cubes.
Yeah, they do, but obviously they're under the command of the great and mighty Starscream.
At 1 minute and 6 seconds, Thundercracker seriously becomes Skywarp.
So it's more like Thundercracker and Skywarp switching than like Starscream and the others switching.
Whenever they're making the Energon cubes, I got 1 minute 32 seconds. They're rainbow again.
That might again be because of the energy. We don't know, do we? I don't think it's ever explained what energy does what.
Then we go to the Autobots going in. It's Optimus, Prowl, Blue Streak, Brawn, and Cliffjumper. So Cliffjumper tries to run up and attack Starscream. And then Starscream just picks up a pipe and plays baseball.
I've got a few. I've got the humans use guns against robots. I don't know what happened to my boy Soundwave at 1 minute 30, but he did not look okay. And then Prowl is seen with the bots, but he never shows up. He's seen there, but he just disappears.
Okay. So then, as I was saying, Cliffjumper goes up to try and attack Starscream. Starscream picks up a pipe and plays baseball with him. So then, whenever he's flying and he hits Brawn, at 2 minutes and 1 second, Brawn's head is yellow.
Yeah, I've got that down. I've also got the Cliff and Brawn were stood next to each other, and then you pan to Brawn, and then Cliffjumper runs from behind him. So I don't know if he backed up to get a running head start before he got knocked out the field, but that didn't make sense to me.
So then, this happens. Starscream and Thundercracker escape. Soundwave does his best to escape, barely escapes after.
I've got another few then, if we're that far. Starscream says to fly off, and he just goes through the roof. He flies and he just goes up straight through the roof, and then Soundwave suddenly forgets how to fly, and he runs around like a goddamn Looney Tune character.
Meanwhile, Blue Streak and Prowl are chasing him.
This episode loves Blue Streak and Prowl, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
I've got 3 minutes when the Decepticons are retreating.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Oh, right.
So whenever they're escaping,
yeah,
Starscream has a red nose cone at 2 minutes and 33. And at 2 minutes 48, Thundercracker becomes Starscream.
Huh. Weird.
And whenever Soundwave's running, whenever Blue Streak shoots up and hits, I believe, Starscream, whenever they pan back down, it shows that Prowl is the one that shot. So at 2 minutes 56 seconds, Prowl and Blue Streak swap places.
I've got something just like that at 3 minutes. So obviously, I think our times are a bit different, but if we put it into the context of what we know, it will make sense. Prowl and Optimus and Blue Streak are all together, and Optimus orders Prowl and Blue Streak to go. So Blue Streak is still in his vehicle mode, and Prowl is the one stood near Prime. Prime then says, "Go." It pans to Blue Streak.
Yeah.
Right.
And Blue Streak's the one who transforms.
He's speaking, and then no, Prowl's the one who transforms back into it, and then Blue Streak's like, "Come on, Prowl, let's go." But I was just like, how'd you manage to have him in his vehicle mode with his robot mode next to him, and then his robot mode turns into his mate? I just can't believe no one like looked at it and was like, "Yeah, this is alright."
Yeah, there are a lot of errors.
I've got Starscream's alt mode.
So-
Looks really weird. Like he's got blue, like his tail fins are blue. His things here are grey, so I called it the Frankenstein alt mode. And then the jet nose cones are really long, like pencil long.
Then we pan up to Cybertron, seeing that Megatron has successfully contacted them.
Which Starscream isn't happy about at all, for
Yeah,
obvious reasons.
he is not happy about it. Then he orders them to get repaired, then go to the laboratory to steal the antimatter formula.
Mm-hmm.
Then at 3 minutes 35 seconds and 4 minutes 35 seconds, Megatron has a red emblem.
Yeah, they're meant to have a purple one, aren't they? Red's the Autobots thing. I'm trying to look on the figures I've got on my desk. Yeah, purple. For context, for everyone who doesn't know, they have purple emblems. I conveniently have a Decepticon and Autobot next to me. I've got... So, they know to go to the Dark Matter place, and Bumblebee, for some ungodly reason, is conveniently going to the Dark Matter research facility where a new character called Chip is introduced, who is, I believe, the creator of the formula. That's what they...
No, he is not. He is the helper of it.
Ah, right.
Like, he helped create it.
They have this really weird control panel that kind of looks like a calculator that has numbers and dashes and dots on it, and they go into this place. The dude who is working on the control panel sees Bumblebee. He's like, "Oh my god, I've never seen an Autobot before. Like, that's way different from the movies, like the live action ones."
Yeah.
They're like, ah. It's because
Fun fact: Bumblebee and that security card are the same voice actor.
That's why he's never seen him before. When they enter the facility, Bumblebee gets in there, and his head is really small. I just put 543, small head B. That rhymed, you know it. And then, for some reason, all the humans' computer look exactly like Teletran 1. But, like, elongated. Which,
Then
that could be canon. Like, the Autobots could have given him that stuff, but I don't believe they would have done that, because there's too much stuff there.
So then, after they leave, we see Reflector. Well, Reflector was before they even got there.
Yeah, Reflector saw them put the code in. The code was, I think, 593. Which isn't relevant.
Yeah, it's not relevant. And then, after that, we see Laserbeak chase them, and then start destroying the town.
What's weird is, whenever Bumblebee has seen Laserbeak, he's never once recognised him, yet Spike knows that man off by heart.
At 3 minutes 37 seconds, dude, there's such a horrible, like, editing cut. So Laserbeak is shooting, and Bumblebee goes to the garage. It just cuts to destruction.
So
it's really weird. And then after that, we go back to the space bridge where Rumble and Ravage are waiting, so that Megatron has now returned back to Earth. So then at 6 minutes and 44 seconds, Megatron, he doesn't have an emblem.
I'm not surprised I didn't put that down. Yeah, the next thing I have is when Prowl and Prowl and Blue Streak find the Seekers in the bunk fixing themselves. So you're gonna have to do some filler there.
So then, after that, Megatron leads the Decepticons to the place But before that, we are shown Blue Streak and Prowl go head to head with the Decepticons
This is where I'm on about. So
at 7 minutes 34 seconds.
this is what I've got.
Thundercracker becomes Skywarp.
See, I'm not on about that. Right. So for context, Prowl and Blue Streak obviously were sent to go find Starscream. Bumblebee needs some help because Megatron's coming for the the antimatter equation, and they're coming to attack. Is your cat gonna kill himself? Oh no, he was about to jump. One was off. So Prowl and Blue Streak come into this facility and they transform. They're both missing the Autobot symbols, and both their voices don't line up because the voices don't work, and they're looking at each other and chatting shit to the Decepticons. So it's kind of like they're staring at each other, going. They shoot Thundercracker, right? So I love having things on my desk because I can shit, right? So imagine this is Thundercracker. They shoot him, something explodes, but there's nothing there. There was never anything there, just something explodes in front of Thundercracker, and we never see what it was. But the Seekers said that they need repairs. So what I don't understand is how they can use human vehicles to upgrade their Cybertronian bodies. Well, it kind of makes sense because obviously they're the same vehicles and whatever. But I think it was Thundercracker. One of the Seekers were getting their wing replaced, and then that same Seeker, because it wasn't Skywarp, because I wouldn't have mentioned it. It was either Thundercracker or
Skywarp wasn't in there.
He was for a bit. He was in that area, like
I have that down, but
one of these Seekers is getting a new wing, which I think it was Thundercracker, and then his normal wing is back. I think that's what they shot, his wing, but then he just grew a blue one back, because who doesn't just re-go wings like that, you know, like, let me just...
So then, during that time, Prowl and Blue Streak are fighting. Prowl gets shot, his battle computer is destroyed. So he can't fight.
Wait, I've got something before this then, because Megatron gets back to Earth, and he comes out the space grids, and he's greeted by Rumble and Laserbeak.
Ravage.
Is it Ravage? No, it's Laserbeak.
No, it is Laserbeak.
Yeah, and then they go off to the antimatter place. So Megatron is seen with 3 reflectors and a Rumble, and they fly down, and then a 5th guy shows up, which I don't know who it was. I'm going to assume it might have been Laserbeak now, because obviously Laserbeak was there. But then that person disappears again, so either way, it was an animation thing. And Ravage screeches so ear-piercingly loud, and it, honestly, I took my headphones off because it scared me, because I was listening full volume, so I could listen to all the stupid sound effects. But as what you just said, Prowl gets shot and his battle computer gets damaged. So he's caught. Yes, he uses a radio and he taps into power lines,
the internet,
which conveniently goes to Chip's house, and Chip remote controls Prowl. Bearing in mind he's never done this before and he's only typing to do a full-on backflip, do some karate moves, and then we're off.
Okay, so at this time, since Blue Streak dealt with Ravage, and Chip has now hacked into Prowl, at 10 minutes 46, Skywarp appears, finally.
There he is.
And at 10 minutes 54 seconds, this is the first instance of it, Prowl has a Decepticon symbol.
Prowl, like the Autobot.
Yes.
The Autobot has a Decepticon symbol. Wow, they're committing a Decepticon mirage right now.
Yes, this is the first of many.
I will pay attention to insignias way more now. I've got one at 11:57. Have you got any before then?
No, I don't. But let's continue the plot. So they escape, meet up with everyone at the antimatter place.
Before this, Soundwave is speaking, and he says something to Ravage,
but Soundwave's voice sounds like it's Dark of the Moon voice, like it's raspy, it's dark, it's brooding. It's not G1 Soundwave. And then, as you said, everyone meets up with the Dark Matter players. Prime's bumper is like robot mode.
We aren't there yet. We aren't there yet.
Oh, we're not. Right, let's go.
So, whenever they all meet up at the antimatter lab, the Decepticons get in. Doctor sends it to Chip Chase, then deletes the formula. Tells Starscream to basically kidnap him, and he brings him back to the antimatter place where Soundwave reveals he can read minds.
He can. That is something he can do. This is where a big chunk of my things have come from. So, first of all, we see Prime's bumper being weird, because they all start showing up. Then, when Soundwave's doing his little mind control thing, Megatron has a fat forehead, like a good old slapper on him. If I was Prime Bulkhead, I'd say he was a buckethead, because he is. And we see Soundwave reading Little Chipper's mind, and he's got these huge hands, like they're unawfully weird, and he's got like red straps around his hands, which normally aren't there for him. And at 13:03, my favourite part of this episode, which to be honest is giving it just a higher review just because of it, Megatron's face honestly looks like he's just swallowed an entire lemon whole. You can look it up. You can get an image if you want.
What's the timestamp?
13:03.
Hold up.
His face, honestly, is one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen, ever. I'm surprised, to be honest, that you didn't write this down, but it is just...
1303, dude. That's not on here.
What do you mean
1303. 1303 had the 3 hounds.
See, that's not an animation error. They were duplicates, weren't it? Right, go back to where Soundwave and Megatron are.
Okay, so Soundwave, Megatron, they kidnap him, read his mind, and after that, the Autobots catch wind, they come here, see Rumble there, and then Rumble's like ransom note. So then they come up with a plan using Hound's holograms and Mirage's invisibility. So, Hound becomes a boulder. Mirage is invisible. They convince Rumble that he has schizophrenia.
Yeah, what's that about? They're just like, Rumble, you are schizophrenic. We are good.
That's the smartest thing you've said all day.
You're the stupid motherfucker.
They go in, rescue Chip Chase, get out, then Optimus Prime with all the other cars in his trailer.
I wanna talk about this because this really aggravated me. When Mirage and Hound go in disguised, they come down. Bumblebee and Spike come down some stairs, right? Magically, the Prowl, Hound, and Bumblebee then drive up those stairs. They enter this long ass corridor and they bust through a wall. After the wall is disappeared, it turns into a glass pane, and then the glass pane shatters, but the glass pane is still there.
It's kind of weird.
I just don't understand. Honestly, I get it's an 80s cartoon, but fucking hell, that's an animation error you can't get away with.
After they escape, Optimus Prime rolls up with his trailer. Does like a wicked donut sort of thing.
He smashes through
opens up the trailer door. All the Autobots just go flushing out. And Hound appears for the second time. And then, Then after that, Megatron explodes an Energon Cube, which explodes the lab. No reason why.
I mean, the building is shown to explode, right? The Autobots end up they end up really damaged. But most of the Autobots shown there aren't there to begin with, and I do mention something later on, which I will come back to afterwards.
So then, after that, they go back to their base for repairs. Then, the Decepticons, they go over to the base, start the attack. But first, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe do this thing called jet judo.
Yeah, that's quite cool. I do have a few things beforehand. The building that Megatron exploded is completely, like, it's shown to be completely destroyed, but then it's shown with minimal damage. And Ratchet was shown driving back, but then was at the arc
He's there.
undamaged. So that means that they made Ironhide transform, changed him into Ratchet, and then sent Ratchet back and left Ironhide there. He's still there. He's in limbo. He's never to be seen again. And then start, like, they're all.
Then after that, they. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
They're all ready to do this massive fight, aren't they? And Megatron, he's like, right, time to get some steroids in me. So he absorbs 2 cubes of antimatter, which this really confuses me.
This will go in near the end. This will come back near the end. Trust me.
Yeah. Megatron transforms into his gun. Everyone knows his gun mode. He's illegal in America because of it. Everyone knows him. And then Starscream just forgets he's his leader and says, because he drops the gun, and he's like, "No, the antimatter gun." And I'm like, dude, that's like the dude who beats you up. They
Then Skywarp picks it up, starts shooting. Spike and Chip go and distract him and place like a mind control remote control device on him.
We didn't mention Chip is in a wheelchair, yet this man is fast. Like he be going speedy as hell on that wheelchair. And they just hack Skywarp, and then Wheeljack's like, pick your nose, shoot your teammates, get good.
And then the antimatter formula explodes. Well,
Yeah,
Megatron flies up, tries to get rid of him, drops 4 cubes.
Yeah, he
instead
drops
of the
4
original
cubes,
2.
but like, how does he get rid of it when he absorbed it? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, he's just like, oh yeah.
Then they explode. The Decepticons are in shambles.
Oh, they're
and
screwed. Then they all
and they run away.
Do the gritty, make fun of them, and yeah.
Pretty much.
What's really weird is, though, at the end, Sunstreaker picks up Chip, congratulates him, and for the whole time he's speaking, not once does his lip even, like, twitch. He's just like, yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah, you did great. Yeah. All done, Chip. All done. What's your secret to moving so fast in a wheelchair, please? I'd love to know. And that's actually all I've got. That is the end of the episode, basically. It's got like 20 seconds left.
Yes, it is.
But you know what? I would say that was one of my favourite episodes so far, and I'd give that a solid Dare to be Stupid, which is the second one.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd give this a Dare to be Stupid.
That one was one of the better episodes. The animation errors were actually funny. They weren't just ridiculous. And the integration of them trying new like energy sources, I think that's quite smart.
So anyway, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Because if you don't, we'll be upset. I did send this to
I sent our last episode to a YouTuber who I look up to quite a lot, Toys R Us, and he said he would give it a watch. So if Toys R Us likes it, you guys will like it too. And
I'm thinking we should have a special guest on next episode.
Oh, I don't even know about that. I think we should keep that secret, not tell who it is. But you're gonna have to text me who that is after this recording.
No problem.
Remember our little? Do you remember our little outro from last time?
Not really.
Remember to come back under for the next episode of
the
Underbase podcast.
Remember to come back down under the base for the podcast.
Down under the base for the podcast. Yeah. Right. That